What's up, beautiful warriors? I am Diane Kaiser, and I am the creator of DianeKaiser.com, the founder of the Warrior Cleanse. And now I'm going to be showing you guys something super awesome that I'm really excited about that, I've been looking out for this for about a year. You know how you're like looking for the one in your life, and we're taught by Disney that you gotta go find the one and then have a great family and marry this person and be with them forever. I've been looking for that same thing in my beauty care routine for about a year, maybe over a year. And I've always known that there's something that can be created that's out there. Maybe it could find me or I could find it. I'm not wearing any makeup with the exception of a little bit of lipstick right now, but I want to show you guys something that I discovered recently. Super, super stoked about it. So I want to start with the following question. Do you have any idea what is making you so fat, fatigued, and frustrated? And so many of us, the first thing, so Melissa, I'll introduce you as my guest now, and I'll have you guess the answer to that. So first of all, what's up, Melissa? You are my partner in crime for today. We're going to talk about beauty care routine, safer skincare, and cosmetics that will actually be beautiful, long-lasting, and safe for you. So introduce yourself first, and then we'll answer the question.
Great. Well, when you were talking about that you've been searching for the one, I thought you were going to say, and then you found me. And I was like, so honored to be your one.
You're my one.
Beauty product. So that's fine.
All right, we'll settle.
Yeah. So my name is Melissa Bachnight, and this is awesome to be able to do this with you today. I am, it's always an interesting question, like, who are you, right? So I am, I'm a mom of a new baby. And so if you see me looking at notes when you're talking to me, as I've explained to you, I haven't slept in a year. And so I'm grateful for safe beauty products to cover up like this stuff right here and, you know, everything that goes on in my face. So I'm a new mom, and I work with Beauty Counter, which is something we'll get into later in this conversation. And I am just somebody who really believes in women's empowerment, and I'm super passionate about what we put on our bodies and what we put in our bodies, and being the healthiest version of ourselves, and whatever that looks like for you and for me. And I'm really into sharing that with other people. I just feel so strongly that this is education that we all absolutely need to know.
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful that I found a platform that enables me to do that. So, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, totally. And so this is one of the top things I think so many women are getting all wrong, because we're marketed to purchase overpriced products that come with a longer term price tag. And that's the stuff that I work with. And in being a functional diagnostic nutrition coach, I know that sounds like a mouthful, but what does that even mean? It means that I help uncover for women the underlying root cause issues that are causing their body inflammation and hence fat, fatigue, and frustration, which comes with a long list of diseases. And people are like, oh, Diane, do you work with this disease? Can you help me with this disease? And like for myself, I've had so many different diseases. I had every toxicity that you can imagine, with the exception of cancer that I know of, you know, Lyme, mold, mercury toxicity, heavy metal toxicity, candida, hormonal problems, Hashimoto's hypothyroid, which is an autoimmune disease, estrogen dominance. I reversed all of it, and I still have skin issues. And I'm going to talk about even what this is. But every woman asks me, Diane, do you work with PCOS? Do you work with endometriosis? Do you work with infertility? Do you work with hormone-related illness? Do you work with PMS? Do you work with, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Well, how can I do all of that? And that is because the underlying root causes of all of these diseases is toxicity. It's toxic thoughts and then toxic chemicals. Where do they come from? Well, they come from our diet. They, of course, come from the air that we breathe. They, of course, like I said, come from the thoughts that we think. But so many people do not think about what we put on our skin. So if I asked you, Melissa, what do you think the underlying root cause of fat, fatigue, and frustration is for women today? What would you name as your top three?
You know, and I'm going to back up a little before I answer this, because I used to work in medical device, which Western medicine. And I'm not saying that Western medicine is bad. There's absolutely a place for it. But one of the big, I worked with people with primarily with diabetes and people with vascular disease, and they had chronic ulcerations. And one of the biggest frustrations that I had was constantly dealing with the problem. You have an ulcer, let's cure your ulcer, let's heal your ulcer. But why do you have this disease? Why does this keep happening? It's just like, let's heal the problem and not get to the underlying issues. And so I love what you do, because it's like, you're exposed to environmental toxins. It's number one, it's my 1, 2, and 3. And that can come from your skincare, that can come from the air you breathe, and that can come from the food that you eat. But it's the toxins that we're exposed to every day. And it's an incredibly crucial topic to be discussing, because like you said, it's the underlying thing of disease, and it's often it's overlooked, especially in Western medicine.
It's one of the things I love so much about this company, and we'll get into this, is that so many of the women are extraordinarily intelligent and have some sort of like a medical background or a nutritional background. It's not like the case for every one of them, but they've all been through a lot and have seen a lot, and then finally went, oh, here's what we're really missing. And it is completely ludicrous and insane to keep chasing symptoms. I'm looking for a picture right now that I created for a huge event right now. And it's a picture of what we call our chi of life, and CHI stands for cleanse, heal, ignite. And so really what it comes down to is that we have several underlying root causes of disease. And so many of us are just trimming off we're looking at the leaves and going, oh, let's trim off this leaf, let's trim off this issue. But the main problem, and I'm going to get to this when I find it, my phone is freezing up. Of course, it's been technology all kinds. Mercury's in retrograde, which it really is. But anyway, I'm looking for this image, and I'll probably go back and cut part of this video because we can. Actually, because we're not live. Just a second. There. Okay.
Found it.
This is an old phone, and it is completely going haywire. Like,
you know what? The new phones do too. So
really, it's like, no, you need to buy the new phone because this is okay.
They're forcing you.
Yeah. Okay. And I actually. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. So here's what the little chi of life looks like. You can see on here, it's kind of backwards, right? The letters are a little bit backwards. Is it backwards, Melissa?
No, I can read it.
Okay. So you've got on here are the root cause issues of disease. Is other people's problems, unresolved emotions, vitamin D deficiency, not enough self-care, not enough beauty, sleep, nutrient deficiencies, toxins, and then, of course, crazy busy. So these root cause issues cause a lot of our 11 systems, like our hormones, our digestion, our immune system, and our beauty and brain. It causes these systems to misfire. And then as a result, we get all of these toxic issues. And so everybody has different issues, but skin issues, rashes, wrinkles, aging, those are all of the things that are the symptoms. And so what Western medicine does is goes through and trims off the leaves instead of addressing the soil, which either grows a dead tree or an alive tree. So real skincare does start from the inside out with our digestion and eating habits, but so many women are like literally doing so much. They feel like they're doing it all. But this is one of the things I still find that so many women are not addressing. They're not addressing what they're putting on their skin. And why does that matter? Our skin is our largest absorbent organ, right? So let's get into a little bit about some of the statistics, if we could, Melissa, about what's going on in skincare today.
Yeah, so there's and just know that we're going to lead you down a path of solutions. So this might get a little bit alarming. And I've actually taught several classes to new moms. And this is a very delicate issue when you're talking about environmental toxins, especially to a new mom that's just created a new human and is really terrified already at doing everything right. Speaking from experience too. So we will get you back on track and give you some solutions. But so one of the main things that, one of the main statistics in this area is that, and I didn't know this either up until about 3 years ago, is the FDA is not really involved in this industry at all. So you grab a product off the shelf, you think, well, somebody's protecting me, right? Like I used to just buy any product, whatever it was. I didn't even I didn't buy like the $150 serums. I just kind of bought like, okay, this is Neutrogena or whatever brand, and it's fine because it's on the shelf and I'm sure it's safe for me. And oftentimes you don't even think about that. You're not even like, oh, I wonder if this is okay, or like, this looks good, it works, you know, I feel beautiful, I'm going to use it. So the FDA has not, or the federal government has not passed a law since 1938, almost 80 years, let that sit in for a second, around this industry. Yeah, I know. It's absolutely bonkers. And so, this is like, I don't know what the, you know, the last statistic I heard was it's a $62 million industry. And the part of this federal legislation is like 2 pages or less. So not only is it 80 years, but it's like the shortest possible set of regulations. So, well, what does that even mean? And why does that even matter? Well, so I looked at FDA.gov actually this morning because I was like, you know, I'm really curious as to what the FDA even says about it. Mm-hmm. And I actually had to dig because I know that it's not regulated. If I were to just glance at it, I would even think, oh, so there is a law that's been passed and they're doing something about it, and maybe look no further and still feel validated that the products are fine. So I found a quote on there, and it says, companies and individuals who manufacture or market cosmetics have a legal responsibility to ensure the safety of their products. Neither the law nor the FDA regulations require specific tests to demonstrate the safety of individual products or ingredients. The law also does not require cosmetic companies to share their safety information with the FDA. Quote unquote, off of FDA.gov. So what does all that mean? It's a self-regulated industry.
Yes.
So they're not required to test for safety. They're not required to report for safety, and no one is checking that anything is safe.
And so they can even say too, right, Melissa? And then I'm going to start putting on some of my makeup so you guys can see what I'm doing over here while you're talking about these really cool statistics. So we can do kind of like 2 things in one. Yeah. And you can see how easy it is. And so what I'm going to be, just before I ask you this next question for clarification, is this is one of the things I got really excited about. And I'll back up and tell you a little bit about how I got into Beautycounter, because like I said, I was looking for the one and it was really hard for me to find. I was like, everybody's like, oh, you should try this, you try this. And, you know, I had a bikini competition like 2 months ago and I didn't know about Beautycounter at that point. And I went to Nordstrom. They do like the free makeovers, right? And I was there for 2.5 hours and I was like, man, I could have just done a better job doing this on my own. And I don't want all this crap on my face. And I was thinking like, what's this going to be worth? And all this tanning stuff they put on you. So it's a very, and even like my, you know, right now you can see that my hair is kind of pink. It's not the red background. And obviously I've been trying different kind of pink products over the year to try to see if my body will finally like take to this without it toxifying my body. And I haven't been able to find anything like Beautycounter that's safe and effective, that doesn't take no for an answer when it comes to like transparency. And so these hair products, this is pink, it's really cute, but every time, Melissa, every time I try something new, it might not be as toxic, but I get these rashes. And so red and blue, red number 40, and then blue, all these different colors that are in the things like that I had put on my face when I went to to get my face remodeled when I did the bikini competition, where we're always taking a risk on what we're putting on our skin. And eventually when your body gets so clean, it talks to you. So, you know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, before I got really into detoxing and cleansing, my body possibly would not have reacted this way because it wasn't so clean that it would say, no, 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 no. And it's kind of like when I describe a really perfectly looking counter in the kitchen and you just cleaned it. If someone drops a crumb on there and your kid comes in and is like, mama, and they get Cinnabons and they just like, you know, put the crumbs all over the counter, you can see it because you just cleaned that counter. But over time, if you don't clean your counter for like 3 weeks, and at that point there's crumbs everywhere, so you're like, whatever, it's just another crumb. So when you get so clean that your body's able to communicate, I don't like this. This is the kind of stuff that happens. And so, of course, I don't feel like I look that beautiful. I look like Mike Tyson came over and punched me, even though my boyfriend is a boxer. It looks like he punched me. But I'm trying to cover up this stuff. And girls just want to have fun, right? So I'm like, oh, pink hair is fun. But, like, my liver doesn't think so. any problems in the skin are problems that are coming from within. And so we have to get that's first. But for the majority of women who are watching this, I think a lot of them are already pretty health conscious, not everybody. So let's talk a little bit more about that. And I'll let you take it away, Melissa, and talk about why you have seen so many women so surprised and so excited to join this movement. Because watch, I'll show you guys how beautiful it looks from start to finish. And I'll let Melissa take it away from all the cool things that she has to say.
Yeah, so just to back it up a little bit before I jump into Beauty Counter and this movement. So when we talk about these ingredients that are in the products, there's often this misconception around like, oh, well, I look for natural, I look for green, I look for all of these like key words, which if you look at like drugs and devices, food and personal care kind of as like 3 separate categories. Drugs and devices are highly regulated. You have to go through a lot of pre-market approval. Love the do skin. And there's very high disclosure requirements for side effects and labeling and all of that. Food, which is a whole nother, conversation, but when you look at food, certified organic is pretty much the main label that you can trust, natural and all those other words that people use. Natural. It's not certified. Exactly. So certified organic does mean something in food. When you look at personal care, it means nothing. So there are no, you might be doing your best. You might even be very conscious of this and know like you have to look for things, but you go out and you look at these bottles and you think, oh, this is natural, this is safe, this is green, this is paraben free, this is whatever words you're looking for, and just know that there's nobody overseeing those labels, and so they can put whatever words they want on there. Right. And organic doesn't mean anything. They might have like 1% of one ingredient that's organic, and they slap the word organic on.
1%.
So with that, you really need to know what brands you're using. You need to know how to look up ingredients. You really need to be your own consumer advocate. And there are tools for that. And that's the great news. And I always say, when you know better, you do better, right? And I'm not saying that like, again, we're going to talk about Beauty Counter. We're not the only company doing great things. There's a lot of companies working to change the industry. We just happen to be the one that I'm particularly passionate about, and I think we do this very, very well. But so your skin's your largest organ. So not only are you're going to try to find these safe products, you're putting them on the biggest organ of your body. And if you think about like a transdermal patch for like birth control, for example, think of how that works. It's going on your skin, and it's designed to go immediately into your bloodstream. That's what your products are doing. So these aren't really regulated. Only 30 ingredients are banned in the United States. Well, that might seem like a great success to you, but the European Union's at 1,400 and Canada's at 600.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So European Union is banned around 1,400 ingredients. Canada's around 600, and the US is at 30, and we were at 11 until about a year ago. And so what that means is that there are known carcinogens, there are known endocrine disruptors, there are known neurotoxins, there are known ingredients that cause disease, that cause inflammation in your body, that cause cancer. These are legal in our products.
Not our products, but in products
as the United States,
Right.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So that's why this matters to you. So if you have skin and you're breathing, this impacts you. And I used to think, oh, I'm not really somebody that wears makeup and I don't really care about my skincare. It doesn't impact me. Well, the average woman wears 12 products a day. And that could be deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, all those basic things. You don't even have to be doing what you're doing right now, Diane, to your face without even doing makeup. And by the way, that looks really beautiful. Eyeshadow.
I'm just using the camera right now.
I know, it looks great.
I'm painting the sky on my eye.
Yeah, I love it.
It's funny. These colors.
Yeah, and so I felt like it was important to back up and tell that piece of it, because until you really understand why you need to choose safer, you don't think it impacts you.
Yep.
And I speak from personal experience because I was that person. And I think statistically only 10% of people are actually aware that what they put on their skin actually matters.
10%?
10%.
Whew.
So there's a lot of work to do, which is
yay! We have a lot of women warriors to save.
A lot of women warriors to save.
Or to help them, teach them save themselves is what I like to say. We don't need to be saved. We just need to save ourselves by being curious about, why am I so fat, fatigued, and frustrated? Like, what are the decisions that I'm making every single day? And then what can I do instead where I'm also not compromising quality, right?
Absolutely. So this can be a very overwhelming conversation, especially, your audience is very health conscious, but sometimes this is the first time people have heard this information. And then you think, oh my gosh, my entire house needs to go, know, and it can be very overwhelming and very expensive, quite honestly. And so, and again, I was that person. And so what do you do about it? Right. So, the Environmental Working Group is an amazing nonprofit organization. You can look them up online, or there's an app called Healthy Living. It's EWG is the acronym for it, a free app. And what they have is a database of, I think it's 128,000 products in their database that you can look up. You can scan with a barcode, and you can also type in information. Now, I'm going to pull it up on my phone while we're talking and just show what it looks like.
While she's doing that, you guys, yeah, that's what it looks like. There's several products that if you type them in or scan them, they don't even show up on there. And this is just a sign of how not transparent a lot of your beauty brands are. So what I say is that if they're not on there, they're probably hiding something, because if they have something to be proud of, they're going to put themselves on there, and they're going to want to be like a score of 1. 1 is better, 10 is worse. So if you see it red, it means no, green means go. And so Beauty Counter is one of the ones that when I looked on it, and I decided to start using Beauty Counter for my personal care products, like my skincare, my masks, my makeup, and now my shampoo, because I'm ditching the pink. It just became something where I was like, first I was like really skeptical, and I'm going, yeah, there's just so much stuff out there. But then when I heard about what Beauty Counter was doing with the advocacy, I went, whoa, like this woman's going to the White House and really trying to like bang on the door and say, wake up world, like we need to do something about this, and here's why. And the average baby is born with like 250 plus ingredients already inside of their body, and that's all because of what the mother has inside of her. Where is it coming from? This stuff we're putting on our face every single day, on our skin every single day. So I just wanted to say that about the app while I finish my mascara. And you can continue on about that, maybe show some other things that you were going to show.
Yeah, and so I'd say with the app, that's what I did first, is I just started scanning some of the things that I use every day. And like one thing I started with was my shampoo. And it was probably the most expensive, fancy thing that I did for myself. I bought it at the salon, and I was like, great, this is awesome. It's expensive, which means it's amazing for me.
Yes.
It was a 10. So when you look at the rating system, 1 is the best, 10 is the worst. It was a 10. I'm like, I have to throw this away. Huh?
How much was it?
I don't even know, like $60 maybe, 56. I mean, it was like a jug, like a jug. I was like, I'm going to buy this stuff. Right. Yeah, and so what I would say to you is just start looking at the things that you do every day. So maybe when you wake up in the morning, go through that list, or even as you're sitting here right now, create a mental list of like, okay, when I wake up, this is my routine. I get in the shower, I put this on, this on, this on. And start going through those things that you're using every day and look them up. And like Diane said, if it's not in there, ask yourself, why isn't it in there? Are they hiding something? I don't know, maybe. And so you start with the things that sit on your skin first, and start with the things that maybe are rated a 10, a 9, an 8, and look at switching those things out sooner than later. My process took me about 2 years, and I did everything from my entire skincare regimen, all of my cosmetics. I got rid of candles, air fresheners, switched from plastic to glass. We even got new carpet, and I had to make sure that it was Green Seal approved. I mean, this is a process, but
yes.
Start with a couple of things, or if you're running out of something, you're like, I just cannot get rid of my, enter that brand foundation. I spent so much money on it. Use it. When it runs out, find something safer. So that's how I recommend getting started. And then do you want me to jump into what Beautycounter is and talk about, our advocacy and education and all that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Before we do that, I wanted to talk about well, first of all, I want you guys all to notice me. Look how beautiful! Notice me, please. Me. Can you please like this? Oh wait, Facebook Live didn't work. But no, look, I mean, it's so fun. And it didn't take me that long. It didn't take me that long to do it. This is the one that I fell in love with the first time. And what I really like about Beautycounter is the return policy. There's no risk. If you don't like it, 60 days, you get all your money back. This is the Ocean palette. When we're filming this, as soon as it's available, there's always different collections coming out, but I like this because it's like autumn colors and then ocean colors. And I'm filming this as the ocean is like, I don't know, maybe a soccer field away from me. So I live by the ocean. This is something that it feels good on. You can see how the contour, it comes on smooth. I'm not wearing a lot of it. It didn't take me that long. I came from being a MAC girl, and I'm not knocking MAC by any means, because if you want to go MAC, have fun. But for me, since I know what is contained in it now, I am throwing all of it away. And so, Melissa, how much is the price tag what the average woman is spending on MAC? Every time I went to MAC, I would spend $250 on 4 different eyeshadows, 2 different completely toxic lead-filled makeups. That lead is a huge neurotoxin and hormone disruptor, endocrine disruptor. And it causes a lot of hyperactivity in children. So, and then of course we're kissing our significant other. So for me, I look at all this stuff and I'm going, how many trips to the MAC counter did I do? And I have over $3,000 worth of products that I don't even want to touch my face anymore. It touches my face. It touches my boyfriend's face. You as a mother, it's touching your baby's skin. It goes into your baby's bloodstream, and it goes straight to the liver, and it goes out of the body. And it doesn't go out of the body if the body can't detox. So I'll get into the science real quick. We'll talk about Beautycounter. Whatever our body identifies as toxic, it will try to get it out of the body by way of the skin. Again, if we put it on our skin, goes in the bloodstream to liver, back through our bloodstream again. It tries to put it out of the skin again, or our hair. So we may have like more rashes on our skin. We may have, it might be 3 days later. We may have more hair falling out. We may have an autoimmune disease, which is, a lot of these things are xenoestrogens. They look and feel just like estrogens and perform just like estrogens inside of our body. And estrogens grow things, right? So that's why we're talking about cancer risks and all these things, because these xenoestrogens, they're chemicals that are inside of these products that look just like estrogen. And so they grow things. They grow our waistline. They can grow cancer cells. They can grow our tissue lining so that we have endometriosis. They grow a whole bunch of things that we don't want to grow naturally in the body. So it looks like a ton of estrogen inside of the body. And where's it coming from? Most of the time it's our beauty care products. So I look at this, and I've seen many of my clients are like, hey, Diane, I just bought this $3,000 kit. And I'm going, no, have you checked it on EWG? And they're like, oh God, it's either not on there, or it's like a 4 or more, which anything more than 3, I say don't even bother. There's other things that you could buy that are safer, that are effective, don't cost a lot of money. And I would rather not have you accumulate $3,000 worth of stuff that you'll later find out and regret buying. And then later down the road, you realize that it's also contributed to a lot of your health issues. Okay. So I just wanted to say that's where I got, when I got here, I went, I wish I would have known this 5 years ago. I don't think Beautycounter's been around that long, so that's how we can segue. But I wish I would have known about that.
Yeah. Well, and as far as price point goes, it's all relative. Like it could seem expensive for some. It could seem like the best deal in the world to others, depending on what you're spending. But I think if you're accustomed to spending, I was a MAC girl too, so if you're accustomed to spending that, you actually will save money. That palette I think is $58, and you get 6 eyeshadows. You get a blush, you get a bronzer, and you get a highlighter. That's insane, and that'll last. I mean, depending on how much eyeshadow you use, that'll last you a long time. And so I think our price, I always say our price point's kind of middle of the range, but again, it's all relative. But I do think it's super affordable for people. And again, when you have high quality products, what I notice is, even with like our body wash, I was so used to like filling my whole hand with something. And I started doing with ours. It's so concentrated and it works so well that you don't need a ton. You might do 2 pumps of the Dew Skin, which is the one product that you showed. It's our tinted SPF moisturizer. Your whole face, like that can last you over 6 months. And it's huge. I think $40 to $45. And so
like a foundation slash moisturizer slash SPF 20, and it goes on really smooth, and it has a subtle amount of coverage, but it doesn't look like you have caked on foundation, which is what I love about it.
one thing I would love to say just about Beauty Counter and what sets it apart is that, you know, we are founded on 3 pillars. Advocacy, which you touched on a little bit, is we have a whole public policy wing. Now, what does that mean? You know, it's not popular to be fighting for more regulation in the industry that you are in, especially given the climate, the political climate that we're in right now. Everyone's fighting for less regulation, and we're fighting for more regulation. It's like we want to make it harder for our own selves to create products. But the whole point is that, you know, we've banned over 1,500 ingredients that we believe to be harmful to human health. And we have very high performing products. So our founder, Greg, we've been around for about 4.5 years. And one of the things that she noticed was that it seems like if you try to buy something that's safe, it doesn't work very well.
Right.
And if you buy something that's high performing, there's often a lot of the toxic ingredients. And why can't you marry the two? Why do you have to sacrifice your health for beauty? You shouldn't. And so she set out to prove the industry wrong, and she's done a damn good job of it. And so she brought over this gentleman, Xavier. I can't remember. He's French. I always butcher his last name, but he's from Chanel. He's got 20 years of experience at Chanel. He's one of our lead product developers. Christy Coleman is a Hollywood makeup artist. She's one of the founding members of Beauty Counter. So, for example, I think it took, I don't know if it was about 3 years to develop our mascara, because they're so obsessed in particular about how things are formulated, you know, where our ingredients are sourced from, how they're produced, and how they perform. And so, I mean, we've literally been waiting for deodorant for years because they're like, you know what, we're not going to launch a product that doesn't work. We're just not going to do it. We'd rather not have something than launch something that's not, in our minds, perfect.
Right. Yeah.
And so, yeah, go ahead.
Quality. When I hear a company say we have pulled back a product because of some kind of issue, and it sometimes can cost them profits, I'm like, they're looking out for my best interest. They're looking out for me and my people's best interest. And that's huge. That's like integrity across the wall is one of the biggest things I look for today. And I think that we all should look for integrity and transparency and advocacy. So advocacy is one thing that you're talking about. There's 3 qualities in the 3 pillars. So can we talk about the other 2?
Now, the other one is education.
Yeah.
And so, again, like we said, you know, there's a very small percentage of people that are actually aware of this issue. And so whenever we speak about Beauty Counter, we start first with, this is the issue. This is how you can, basically like this conversation that we're having right now. This would be a normal Beauty Counter conversation. This is education around it. This is how you can empower yourself, whether you choose our products or not. Choose safer. And so our goal, it's a very powerful grassroots movement of women intentionally done in this model, because we did not want to sit on the shelves at a Neiman Marcus or another, you know, really high-end department store, because that doesn't tell a story. This is a belly-to-belly conversation, and this has to be shared. And not just, I say women, men and women. Everybody included needs to be involved in this conversation. So education's the second, and then the safe and high-performing products, which we did touch on already. And one of the things that you said as far as integrity and transparency, you know, we do monitor the ingredients that we use. We look after those quarterly, and we will pull a product. We have pulled products, even if it's something in processing. So oftentimes, even though you don't come in with an ingredient, there are byproducts that are created with the chemical interactions when products are being manufactured. And so we test that so rigorously. If we have an elevated level of any ingredient that we know we don't want in our products, we've pulled like our brow pencils. And I don't know how long they were off, 6 months maybe, to make sure that we got everything buttoned up in the manufacturing and that it wasn't a part of it anymore. And so they don't care. They'll lose money. They will pull a product forever if they have to, just to make sure that you're safe. And I love that, especially using it on myself. And I use all the baby products on my son. And I want to know that a company is looking out for us. I don't want to have to be spending hours of my life doing the research. I want to know that they're doing it and they're constantly on top of it.
That is a huge time saver. And that's like to know that there's one company out there that has skincare and shampoo and conditioner that's not going to do this to your eye. That's still, you know, that does all the work for us. It's like, we don't have time for this anymore, guys. we are already overwhelmed. It's so hard to follow this stuff. Small companies are getting bought up by big companies, and Tom's of Maine is one example. They didn't have aluminum and stuff in their products before. They didn't have a lot of the nasty things like fluoride in their toothpaste, and they got bought up by a big company, and then they started adding those things back in. And so it can be overwhelming, and then you're going to want to give up. I mean, this happens all day long, I see with my people. So to be loyal to one company who is loyal to you based on their integrity and their standards is a gem to find. So the last thing I want to say is like, what do I do? How do I try this stuff out? And so someday soon, I'm going to be having a party in Orange County, which is where I live locally, where you guys can touch all this stuff and play with it. But don't let that be. I'll wait until you do it then. I didn't either. So what you can do is you can get your hands on some of this stuff. Currently, when we're filming this is one of the things that is available that you can buy online, and I'll provide the link so that you can see it. You could try these things out. There's two ways that you can join. You could become, and we can talk about this. You could buy retail, which is just paying full price. You could become a member, or you could become a consultant. So Melissa, can you talk just briefly about that?
Yeah. So one thing that I really love about the model, we call it a direct retail model, is that our founder really wanted the products to be accessible for everybody. So you can go to Diane's website and you can buy one mascara one time, and that's totally fine. So you can just pop on and order what you need whenever you need, and you'll post your link for your individual website. Members, most of my regular clients are members because it's awesome. You get 15% product credit back. You get free shipping on orders over $100. You get a gift just for signing up, which has been everything from a face oil, which is $68, to night cream, we give really nice gifts away just for signing up, and it's $29 for a year. So oftentimes, if you're going to be a regular customer or buy just more than one product one time, it absolutely makes sense. And it's fun to be like, oh, I have $30 to spend. What do I want to treat myself with? And so that's the second thing. And then becoming a consultant is another option. If you're interested if you're listening to us and you're like, I need to tell people about this too. Like I've got to be one of these warriors that's on the ground spreading this mission. You are always welcome to join us, and it's $85 to join. There is no major pack. You don't have to spend $3,000 to join this movement. It's $85, and then you get to choose whatever you want to add on to that. And I love that because it really, no matter where you are financially, it gives everyone an equal opportunity to be a part of this, because it's, once you have that passion inside of you, you can't not tell people.
Totally. I mean, if you have a passion for all the things we're talking about today as women's empowerment and reducing any of the interferences that are really just depleting us from who we can truly be and stepping into our purpose, and having, reducing fat fatigue and frustration, and having, an extra hour a day to spend with family or do whatever you want, like to go to the gym or meditate or relax or whatever, connect with your girlfriends, or to, double your energy. This is what I do with a lot of women. You could double your energy when you have less toxins in the body. And then you could lose like 15 pounds by not having all of this interference these toxins live in your fat cells, and they expand us and then they deplete us. So most of my women are followers, and they're huge leaders. So if you guys are really excited about this movement like we are, join, become a consultant. I'll put a little video at the end of this so that you guys can see on my website how you can join. It's super simple. So basically, in a nutshell, to become a member is how much?
85, or a member, 29.
29, and to become a consultant, it's 85, and that's per year. And then you can get the discounts as much as you want for being a member. It's how much, what percentage off, or you just get 15% back, right?
15% product credit back.
And then as a consultant, you get 25% off pretty much for the most part. And then you get a bunch of other bonuses too, and you get money back.
And it's so fun.
Exactly. So you guys have plenty of options to join the movement. I really want you guys to try this stuff out. Ditch your toxic habits. Safer skincare is here finally, and it can be beautiful, and you can have fun doing it at the same time. And it's travel easy with it. It's super compact. It's super fun. It lasts a long time. And hey, you can have fun parties and invite all your girlfriends over. So way, way more to come with this. Thank you so much, Melissa, for being here with Kaiser Wellness today. And I am so excited to do more with you, sister, and have fun with your little baby today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it was great to meet all of you virtually. This is a lot of fun.
Cool. Ladies, welcome to Beauty Counter. We'll see more of you soon. Well, that was an information-packed webinar, wasn't it? Yes, rock on. I'm just going to show you here how you can sign up to be a member or consultant straight from my website. So
If you landed here on DianeKaiser.com, currently there's a tab on the top that says Safer Skincare. If it's not here in the future, it might be under menu where you'll see a drop down screen of several things. So if you scroll down here, you'll see a video that you could watch, a 3-minute video of the importance of having safe cosmetics and skincare on your face and your hair and around your babies. So here's some of the products. What I did here is I just listed my top 6 favorites. We did talk a little about the Dew Skin that you saw in this video of me applying. Love it. SPF 20, and you could choose your different tint. I use this every day, twice a day. I love the clay mask also. I did a video on that on my social media. The tint skin is another all-time favorite, and then the cream blusher. This is a great place to start, Flawless in 5, so you can check that out as well. On any of these products, all you do is just hover over, check it out, and it will take you directly to the website. But here are 3 different ways you can get involved with Beauty Counter. Number 1 is just to become a customer and start shopping. There's no discount, but you can click there. It'll take you directly to my online Beauty Counter site. The join here, which like we talked about, you get 15% back in product credit, and it's only $29 every year, just like Costco. Free shipping over $100. You also get a welcome gift worth over $50 typically, and just depends on what they're giving away each month. Different exclusive product offerings only available to members. So you could click here and join there. If you are desiring to become a consultant, if you are a health coach or someone who really wants to become an advocate of this mission, like I am and like Melissa was in this video, you join here and you'll get 25% off of your own orders. Boom! And it's pretty sweet. So you get to do this. There's no minimums. Scroll down here. If you are at all interested in doing some fun party somewhere in Southern California, we can arrange that. We've got beauty practitioners all across the United States and in Canada. That's the 2 places that Beauty Counter is currently offering consultants and sales. So all you do is scroll down here and become a consultant. You click that button. It's going to take you to my landing page, and it's going to say right here, you're going to see me. Should be a picture of me, and you just click on here, start shopping. Down here, and so this is all direct to ship. So like we said in the video, if there's any kind of issues that you have and you want to return it, you have a 60-day no questions asked return policy, and so you just let me know how to do that. Also, you can let the company know. So you could scroll down here a little bit more about the movement, the company, the advocacy, the safer beauty ingredients, how to join as a team. It's super fun, ladies. The people in this group are really, really well knowledge and advanced. You can click on join now. Otherwise, if you still need to know a little bit more, watch this video. There's some testimonials down here. And if you scroll down, it will also show you that there have been over 25,000 other consultants that have joined this company. So pretty huge, and a whole bunch of other testimonials down here as well. There are different options. This is the one that I chose when I first started. So I paid the enrollment fee, which is a great investment in getting all these things for the prices that we do. It paid itself back right here. I got this Skincare Classics and I love it. I anticipate this stuff will probably last me 2 to 3 months. So this is the one that I got. And then you can also purchase any of these bigger ones. I don't have children, so I don't need any of this stuff, the diaper rash cream, etc. Some people need it for different reasons. But here's a little bit more. If you want to scroll down, there's some things down here, some publications. The company won't put anything in its products that hasn't been tested, and it bans 1,500 plus contested chemicals, which you can read about here on the Never list up on top. They did have a launch in Target for a little while. Wall Street Journal says the American consumer is busy enough that they are looking for brands they can outsource their trust to. And then there was another one here that was on Vogue as well. When Minnie Mortimer dropped by the Vogue offices the day, we couldn't help but notice her supernaturally health glow. Her secret, Beauty Counter, the new line of skincare that she recently discovered in Los Angeles. So anywho, you can see all these FAQs here if there's any other questions that you have. But you can just scroll up anywhere here and click join now, which will take you to a page, and just put your email information, and then you can decide from there which one of these packages that you desire, and it will be shipped to you within 1 week. So please let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'm here for you. Like I said, if you have any questions that you want to ask me personally about this, you can click on menu on my website and just click here on contact, and we will be in contact with you within 24 to 48 hours. This is a huge mission of mine. I'm super stoked about this product company, and I'm so stoked that you watched this video, and I'm really excited about you being as interested in your skin as much as your liver, which is your inside skin, as you are your children and our future generations. Thanks so much, and love you as much as you love your skin. Bye-bye.